Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Welcome to my channel. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas here, and I have a sketch. Let me tell you what I did here before we start the painting. I used a very soft pencil and drew a very simple cabin here, and then I said maybe this cabin is sitting by a road, so I drew a road here, something like that, and then I decided to put some rail fence over here, and then one thing led to another, and I put another cabin here, maybe another rail fence over here, maybe a big tree over here, and that's what you see. We ended up with this sketch. It looks complicated, but it's really not. It's very simple. Just if you do the sketch at home, just make sure this cabin is sitting a little bit higher than this one, so the perspective would be right. I have to show you, I have a couple of plastic jar of paint over here. This is yellow, a little red and white, like a creamy color. I have pink, which is basically red and white, and I have orange. I have it's out of the tube, but I mixed some white with my orange, so that's what I got. And I'm gonna start with my orangey color and go ahead and apply some of the paint that I already had on this brush on the canvas, and go ahead, spray it. This is a transparent color, so some of the sketch that I have in the back is not going to be lost, so that's good. We're gonna have trees over here, so I'm not gonna worry about that area. I'm gonna drop the orange here and go ahead with my lighter tone color and continue with the rest of this sky. I'm gonna blend this into my orange. Now I have more white into this paint, so it's not as transparent, it's mostly opaque. So I'm gonna make sure I don't lose my sketch over here. Maybe over here also some orange. I'm gonna have trees over there, so I'm gonna be covered by trees. Alright, we're gonna retire this brush for now. I'm gonna pick up a filbert brush, very soft bristles. I'll show you my palette. Some purple, different shades of it, and or tone of it, and some black. Use any purple you have. If you don't have any purple in your tube paints, you could mix in your blue and red and some white, and you can make your own purple. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a few trees over here. The base of these trees in here is gonna be darker, and as we move upward, I'm gonna use mostly purple to indicate some trees. So I'm gonna mix in my black and my purple and make a darker tone here. As I move up here, I lose paint in my brush, and it's going to be mostly dry brush effect. So most of the paint is going to be used down there. So when I get up here, I lose fuel, and it's going to be mostly dry brush effect, which is going to give some illusion of distance trees. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a liner brush, and before I forget, I'm gonna indicate a few of those trees that we lost over here when we applied the paint. Just a few indication of, twigs and branches. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some highlight to these trees. They're way in the distance, so you don't want to put too much details into them. For this area, I'm gonna go a bit darker, so I'm gonna use burnt umber, and for the highlight I'm probably gonna use same orange, but the base I'm gonna make it a bit darker because this is a bit more closer to us. We're gonna have couple of evergreen trees over here, and we're gonna go ahead and indicate that as well. So I have black on my palette already. I'm gonna pick up some burnt umber And mix the two together, get a darker tone. And I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna make sure I don't miss my sketch, which I did last night. And we have two trees over here, which we're gonna indicate that as well. So this is the background color for this area. I'm not gonna be afraid of using even black. This contrast will help us later. I'm going to use mostly dry brush effects, so I'm going to pick up little paint. I'm going to go ahead and dab to my burnt umber and my sky color mix. So it's good to always stand back and look at your painting. I'm going to break that hard edge over there with some brown. You see that. So this is my first layer of highlight. I'm gonna go back to my dark and try to blend the sharp transition areas. I'm going to pick up my liner brush, some black and burnt umber. I'm going to thin my paint with some water and go ahead and indicate a few tree trunks and branches. Just indication of a few trees. Or maybe with the same brush, pick up some of that orange and apply a few highlights in here. Now I'm gonna pick up my round brush and go ahead and indicate uh, some land area over here using my purple, black. Alright, with burnt umber that I had on my palette, I'm gonna indicate the roof for this cabin. And I have raw sienna on my palette as well. Now for this area, I'm going to go a bit lighter. So I'm going to add some sienna into the mix. Some black at the bottom and pull up, give it a better look. I'm gonna switch my brush. And go ahead and indicate some details. Break the pattern a bit. I'm using some of my glue that I had on my palette and indicate door here. I'm gonna go ahead pick up my umber and come over here and indicate the road. Just the underpainting for it for now. so we know where things are. Alright, so we're gonna move to this cabin in here, and for this one we're gonna mix in some burnt umber and the orange that we had on the palette. I'm gonna go ahead, maybe a little more burnt umber right here. Let me show you. I'm gonna come over here and apply some of this color over here. Maybe we add some black for under the leaves. Maybe some lighter orange, maybe some burnt umber, black. Use variety of colors. Using burnt umber for under the leaves and my mix of orange and basically the burnt umber for the rest of the house cabin. Mix these areas together, blend them. For the roof, I'm going to go ahead and use some blue and black and apply dark mix for underpainting. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Prussian blue and some white. I'll make a light mix for the highlight on the roof. And I'm gonna go ahead and There's some highlight in here. We have this portion of the painting to work on, and then we're gonna move to the road. I'm gonna take some black, some green, make a mix and just work on this evergreen tree here. And as I move down, I'm going to use more of the brush, more of the body of the brush. Create larger branches. Like so. And it's gonna sit behind the cabin. I'm gonna go ahead, highlight it. I'm gonna pick up some lighter green. I'm gonna mix some white and my green. And I'm gonna come over here and very lightly apply some highlight to this tree. Nothing special. I'm gonna go ahead, pick up my umber, and mix it with my sienna and some white. And I'm gonna start working on this road, country road. I'm gonna go back and forth between the umber and the lighter mix. And we're gonna go ahead re-sketch the fence in here. Pick up some black, indicating some rocks by the side of the road. I had some fence posts here and indicate that, maybe a tree here. I want to forget. Gonna extend the dirt area all the way back there. Just putting these earth tone colors, burnt umber, sienna, some mixture of black, indicating the road. Building up layers. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce some green in this area. Side of the road. I'm gonna have some vegetation growing in here. just blocking these areas. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some detail work on the road. Using same colors here. The underpainting is dry. Using sienna, burnt umber. Requires some patience. I'm gonna add some light green for those areas as well, but I want to mix in my brown and green together, so I will work on this area first. So I'm going to continue this detail work all the way to the foreground. It's going to be a process. It may take me hours, if not days. It's the same work, you know, over and over and over. Same brush stroke. Just creating a using mostly burnt umber on the side of the road and lighter tone toward the middle. Gotta be patient with this stage, as I mentioned. Alright, so I went ahead and I continued same idea, same brush stroke all the way to the foreground. I wouldn't say it's entirely done, but for now it's okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some burnt umber. And I have some orange on the palette already. Alright. And I'm gonna go ahead and paint these shrubs, bushes over there in the background, some over here. Let's complete that. We're gonna paint a tree over here, you know, get that done, and then we're gonna move to the fence. get the fence done, a couple of trees, and we're almost done with the painting. I'm gonna pick up a very small mop brush and a bit black, a bit burnt umber. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the underpainting for these bushes over here. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of the orange and apply some highlight. Soften a few. Alright, we're going to apply same idea around here, but for that we're going to pick up a larger mop brush and burn umber for the dark tone and a bit black, and mix it up. Pick up my brush is dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and tap over here. And maybe a little more black for the one in the back. And let's pick up some of this black, put at the base of these bushes, and just go ahead and blend it just like that. I'm gonna go ahead, while this is wet, apply some green and blend it into each other so the base would be dark. Now I'm gonna, same brush, maybe just wipe it off. I'm not gonna wash it. I want it to be dry. Tap it on my palette. Open up the bristles real well. Get some of my orange. And go ahead, maybe some light coming this way, and apply some highlight. Let's see, we can start from, make sure I don't have too much paint. Start from here. And I'm gonna mix up the the orange with the burnt umber, get a darker tone for the one back here. And blend a few. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a liner brush and some of that orange that we had, and just apply some finishing touches to these, some details, few spots. You know, we can have more control with the smaller brush. Just indicating few highlights over here. This will dry a bit darker. It's not going to be as light as appears on the camera. Blend a few. I'm going to pick up a round brush, and we're going to go ahead, pick up same black and brown and indicate the fence that we had over here and we don't have anymore. Let me just highlight this, not highlight, just indicate a few of these posts over here. And this one is up here. I'm just gonna do the top, because we have to be mindful of the perspective, so as they move away from us they have to get smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one somewhere around here, and then we're gonna have another one here closer to it. Maybe one over there. And maybe one here. Something like that, so a bit smaller. Maybe this one can be a little bit higher than that one. With this side, just apply the dark. Really not much to it. As they move closer to the foreground, they get bigger. And obviously you have to put more details into them. Pick up some of that orange and some of the brown and create a lighter. This is not the highlight side, just a bit lighter than the dark for this side. And the grass. Alright, gonna go ahead and apply some highlight to the fence post and the whole rail fence element of the painting. I'm gonna pick up some pink and some burnt umber. I'm gonna wash my brush, dry it, and pick up some burnt umber and just blend it together. Maybe I don't want too intense highlights back there while you highlight it, so think of the shape of your post. No, this is not going to be final highlight for these things, you know. We have to work on the foreground and everything else, and then at the end of the painting we may go ahead and highlight them again. As I pull like that, some of the paint breaks. It doesn't give full coverage, and that's good. It creates a texture of the wood. So actually that's a good thing when the paint breaks. Sometimes not a good thing, sometimes it's a good thing. Depends on what you're painting. What is the element that you're painting. Now I'm gonna pick up some green, some darker green, some yellow, green light. And gonna go ahead and fix a few spots in the foreground with this grassy area. Alright, so at this stage, with this kind of texture, this kind of finish, for the demonstration, for the sake of demonstration, I'm happy. But if you want to put more details into your painting, especially foreground, you could go ahead, pick up a liner brush and actually paint you know, a few individual grass or the impression of it, especially in the foreground. Well, you don't want to do it in the background, obviously, you know. And use different colors, you know, dark green, light green, and go ahead and just paint a few individual grass, you know, maybe some overgrown at the bottom of the fence, like so. Not sure if you could see. Let me bring you closer so you can see better. Like so. So this requires a lot of, obviously, patience and detail work. When you do a demonstration for YouTube, time is against you, and oftentimes, you know, I don't engage in this kind of detail painting, but you definitely can apply this when you paint at home and create some interest into your painting. It looks better, looks more professional when you have some texture in the foreground, some details. Just change your color time to time, and only do this in the foreground. Don't do it back there. It's too far away to see individual grass. Something like that. So I would probably if I want to continue with this, I would probably do it off camera. I'm not gonna. I just wanted to show you that's an option to go ahead and create a little more details. So you can contrast that to that. So and for the door, I'm using turquoise, straight out of tube. Not gonna bother mix my own, you know. And some black for the bottom. So we're gonna extend our grassy area over here. I wanted to have another element over here, but unfortunately running out of time. So I'm just gonna put that for the next painting. Maybe we can implement this another time. Just gonna paint the grass over this area. Right. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the underpainting for these trees over here, and I'm gonna use black and umber to do the underpainting, and then I'm gonna use umber and white to highlight them. I'm gonna spare you with the underpainting part because it's gonna be just a boring part of the painting. It's basically what you see over here. You know, applying dark on these trees. I'm going to show you a little bit. I use a bigger brush for the trunk, and when we get up there I use a liner. So yeah, it's basically the MO of this part of the painting. Last element, the trees. Maybe show a little bit of this one as well. Basic underpainting, no perfection. Adding some water to my paint so it would move easier. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drop some highlight on these trees. For that, I'm using burnt umber and white. And mix it together. Let me bring it up, show you a better view. Okay, it's a creamy color. Maybe on the canvas you see better. Start from up here. And maybe some umber by itself, just to break this sharp transition. The more time you spend on this, the better it's gonna look. I'm just showing you the technique I use. I would really spend more time on it if I wasn't, under certain time restriction with the video. We're gonna have some grass over here. Some more white, some more umber, mix them together. Maybe have another one. Let the paint break. And let me bring it closer so you can take a look. As you see over here, the paint is breaking and create a texture. of tree barks. With the highlight, with the dark, gotta go back and forth. Don't try to finish it, quickly. It's not a contest. So I went ahead and I repeated the same thing for those trees, and I believe they are acceptable level or stage right now. Of course, I can work on it a little bit more, but for the sake of showing the demonstration technique, I believe we've done the justice. Right, so we have a few rocks over here. Maybe I was planning to paint a chicken and a duck in the painting. We will see, if we have time to finish it. Otherwise, I make shorts. I'm gonna finish it in a format of a short YouTube video. Hopefully, we can finish that. The video is already getting too long. But let's drop some rocks over here, work on this grassy area a bit. For the rocks, I'm gonna make a gray, and I'm gonna use my dark tone. I have a video on how to do rocks impressionistically. You can watch that video if you want. Paint dark tone. And with the gray, we're gonna go ahead and apply some highlight. To these things, a little more white. And soften it. The liner brush. indication of other grass here. Now for the shadow area, we can even add some cobalt blue into our green. And go ahead and apply a few grass over there. Blue is a good shadow color, especially for painting leaves and bushes and stuff like that. I usually mix it in with my green. So this is a mix of cobalt blue and green. As you see, it creates excellent shadow color, you know, for this tall grass over here behind the trees. Maybe a little lighter, some of them, so we can show. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and drop a few more finishing touches here. Maybe this area can get a little more attention. I planned a few more elements in this painting, and if you started drawing at the beginning of the painting, there were a few other elements, but unfortunately the video got too long. Time is against me, and I couldn't do all of those. Maybe with the next painting we can bring back a couple of those elements and work on those. If you made it this far, I really thank you. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, if you consider to subscribe, I really appreciate it. Come back for more videos, and I hope you try this at home. Take care, happy painting, and be safe. I see you guys with the next painting very soon. Bye bye.